It is time to relax and clear your mind. You grab your coloring book and your pencils and start the creative process. And then it happens. The little monkey, living rent-free in your head, cycles into the executive room with a plate. And on that plate, he serves you a small thought in the form of a balloon. It's a thought that is easy to acknowledge and easy to file with the sweep of a mind-clearing pencil. But the monkey is, of course, a cheeky one. Next to the balloon lies a needle. He grabs it and pops the balloon. Colorful scenario confetti explodes out of it, shooting overthinking shrapnel in all directions. 10 minutes pass before the dust clears and the power goes back on. You look at the paper and realize you have been coloring the same section of the drawing for the last 10 minutes. Instead of 20 different colors on the paper, there are 20 different scenarios playing out in your head, plastered to the walls of your thinking chamber. Hello and welcome to the JC Log podcast. Before we dive into this episode, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our listeners/viewers. In response to the JC Log podcast 13, Why I Intentionally Escape in Drawing and Why You Should Too, Chantel Slotty wrote on the Discord channel, "Pretty pick, well done." Chantel, thank you so much for taking the time to leave a comment. I genuinely appreciate it and I'm glad you liked the drawing. And for all of you out there listening and watching to my podcast, if you're enjoying it, leave me a review or a comment and you might be featured in future episodes. Welcome to episode 17 of the JC Log podcast, in which we talk about what overthinking looks like. Overthinking starts with small triggers. Overthinking doesn't directly lead to pondering the meaning of life or where and how it all started. Instead, it carefully guides you back to that ambiguous message from your manager at the office, or reminds you of that little spelling mistake you made in that email you sent out earlier. Then, new ideas start to sprout from those scenarios. Maybe my manager is unhappy about my work. I should please him more and increase my output. And maybe I should finally download that annoying grammar app to help me create better emails. In the back of your mind, the shadowy part, the monkey giggles. He created a mess, but left you to clean it up. And the funniest part is, not only did you agree to do so, but it also makes you feel treacherously productive. And from that tricky situation, things start to spiral. The spiral. Suddenly, the coloring becomes a second thought, pushed to the background for other matters. From thinking about a spelling mistake in your email, you start to worry if that happens more often. Maybe that is the reason for that ambiguous email from your manager. What else could he be worrying about? Should I spend even more time perfecting my emails? But then something happens. While going through this overthinking process, you stop using your pencils completely. And now you find yourself scrolling mindlessly through the pages of your coloring book. Suddenly, a small observation pieces to the screen on which the optimization and productivity movie is playing out. You notice that at many pages, you started ambitiously here and there, putting colors on the papers in great detail, but a lot of the coloring patterns aren't fully completed. By noticing that, the coloring book becomes a visual representation of a common challenge of daily life. You were so busy chasing perfection, or got so distracted thinking about other things in life that needed optimization, that not finishing something became a pattern, visually on the papers of your coloring book, but also mentally in your head. You've sent out the email from the outbox of your provider, but it hasn't yet left your brain. Why simple activities help? Something needs to change, but thinking more won't do it. Luckily, the answer is already laying in front of you. Not only did the coloring book present you with a challenging observation, it offered you a path forward at the same time. You were already on that path, but you forgot to stop and smell the roses. Use repetition to make room in your head. Clean up the monkey's confetti or close those 20 browser tabs that he has simultaneously clicked on. Leave only one tab open, the one that says repetition. Repetitive actions, like coloring, but also cleaning, walking, and organizing, are not perfect solutions, but they do act as helpful volume buttons that let you lower the noise. They are meditative practices to which you can bring back your attention whenever you feel overwhelmed by thoughts. However, unlike the more challenging practice of real meditation, where you are asked to sit in silence and do or stare at nothing particular, they give you something tangible to come back to at those moments you find your mind wandering off. In that sense, I personally like creative practices like coloring and drawing because it allows me to snap out of the creeping confetti thoughts that act as fillers. Whenever I find myself getting lost in a thought, I shift color or pattern. If the tree that I'm drawing leads me to wander off to work emails, I bring my attention back to the paper and switch to drawing or coloring the house instead. Meanwhile, I'm not fighting my thoughts, I acknowledge them, but don't allow them to linger. Not everything needs to be solved. Sometimes good enough is good enough, and not every thought has to have the same weight of seriousness. After going through such a thought flushing creative practice, I often find myself feeling lighter and relieved. The thoughts exist. Can't do much about that, and you don't have to, but gently letting them pass during a creative practice like drawing or coloring allows you to process them in a healthy manner, and you will feel more relaxed afterwards. Perhaps peace is not found in the absence of thoughts, but at the moment you stop chasing those thoughts into every closed off corner of your brain, where they are unable to escape. Thanks for listening to episode 17 of the JC Log podcast. This is what overthinking looks like. If you got something valuable out of it, it would mean a lot if you follow the podcast, left a review, or share the episode with someone who might enjoy it too. You can find all the links, resources, and additional context in the accompanying descriptions, and you can find the show notes and the transcriptions on my website, also linked in the description. If you are listening to this episode on Apple Podcast, I would be very happy if you leave me a review over there. It would help me a lot. That said, thank you very much, and I see you in the next one, fellow Turbans.